Hello, all you beautiful book babes. Today we will be continuing our Daddy Month. It is almost over. Today we will be reviewing Daddy's Waiting by Pepper North. This is one of my favorite Daddy Littles author. A protected location should solve all of Piper's problems. But what happens when her irresistible boss uncovers the secret desire she's hiding from everyone? Stay tuned to find out more. Hello, all you beautiful book babes. I am sorry for the interruption, but thanks to you all, we were able to obtain another sponsor, and this one I'm really excited about. This episode is brought to you by Dr. Ganja. Now, I know CBD and THCA is a controversial topic, but it's something I really believe in, so much so when I was in college, I wrote a whole paper on the topic and how it is so beneficial versus other medications. I even got my professor to convert on their beliefs on the topic. I used this company way before they reached out about being a sponsor. They have so many different products. They have flower, vapes, topical creams, gummies, spa stuff, and so much more. My favorites are their bath bombs, face wash, and their full spectrum sob relief. With having tendinitis in almost all my joints from playing sports growing up, this really helps with the pain in my joint. My husband loves their flower and vape products. He struggles with anxiety, and this really helps him when he's having an attack. We have never gotten a product and not fallen in love with it. If you want to take advantage of this, all you have to do is go to Dr. Ganja, so it's DrGanja.com, and then at checkout use the promo code SMUT, S-M-U-T, for 5% off your order. This is not just a first time order deal. You can use it whenever you order, which is fantastic. My husband already started using the code. Now, please take advantage of this offer. I think a lot of you will benefit from trying it. And you beautiful book babes, enjoy the rest of the episode. Bye! Hello, all you beautiful book babes. We are back with our next Daddy episode. Daddy! So I did my boyfriend's daddy, I did a stepdaddy, and this is Daddies and Littles, one of my favorites. I know you're not a fan.
No, I really don't care about Daddies and Littles.
I love Daddies and Littles. It's my favorite
I'm more
thing.
of a primal girly. Like, I like the primal play.
Oh no, see, I'm the problem is me and my husband are both givers, so I think the daddy little relationship, it's such a giving relationship.
Gotcha.
I'm just like, ah!
Gotcha. I like to pin me down and use me as a toy, that type shit, or, you know.
Oh no, see,
chasing wood, I don't know.
I want rewards and I want punishments, like a little. If I'm bad, you need to punish me. If I'm good, you need to reward me.
Gotcha.
And my husband does. So, we're doing Daddy's Waiting, and of course, it's by my girl, Pepper North. She is, she is the Daddy Littles, author, if you're gonna do it. And this one she added some more in there that I actually am like, okay.
It's different from the Cupcake series?
It's different.
Gotcha.
It is, first off, not Insta.
Oh, okay.
So, it's still quick. Don't get me wrong, it's still quick.
Yeah.
So it almost feels like it's Insta.
But it's not.
But it's not. The girl is like, we need to step back. Okay. So Goodreads rating is a 4.21. Our characters are Easton and our female, I included her last name. It's Piper County.
Oh.
I kind of like the name.
Yeah.
So we start off with Easton. He is interviewing Piper for a new job. Easton asks why she's leaving her old job, and Piper tells him so she can pursue more challenges. Now, Easton tells her that is a lie. He straight up is like, you're lying to me. And he's very good at telling when people lie to him. So he even offers, it kind of turns into this playful manner. He goes, okay, let's play a game. 2 truths, 1 lie. And she ends up telling all truths, like how she's leaving her job because she needs a safe place to live and work because her last boss slash fiance kind of became obsessed with her and took it too far.
Gotcha.
That was actually her last daddy.
Gotcha.
So, and he just wasn't a good daddy to her. Easton tells her to let him show her what he has to offer. So he shows her that he even offers apartments to the littles who work for him.
So it's a little world.
It's a little world.
Oh, okay.
But there's daddies and sons. There's mommies and sons. There's daddies and little girls. Like,
gotcha. So it's not just daddy, little girl. It's more.
It's way. That's why I said
like
this one. She did go a little better, but she thinks he doesn't know that she's a little. So she's like, she's confused and asks, "Oh, is there kids? Like, why are you offering apartments to littles?" And he tells her he can just tell by her posture alone that she is a little and her fiance was most likely a daddy. She is shocked that he knows, but tells him she would like to keep her work and private life separate.
Right.
Don't point that out to people. He tells her that's understandable and she has the job and that his old assistant will show her around her apartment, then will stay for a week to train her. So Shannon, his old assistant, shows Piper around. So she shows her to the apartment, and it's a little odd, because he hires littles, so
Cribs.
There's railings on the bed. It's a bed. It's not a crib.
Okay.
It's not a crib. It's a railing bed, and there's a rocking chair.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, so like it's not like full blown nursery.
Gotcha.
And to be honest, I got like 90% in, and there were no diapers.
Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. I
found your little book.
I was waiting for the diaper, the changing station, something.
No. This one is...
I'm not yucking anyone's yum.
No.
I'm not. But for me...
Diapers are just not our thing.
The changing station and the diapers just make me giggle, and I can't take it seriously.
Yeah, I got 90% in before I stopped taking... I got 90% in before I stopped taking notes, and there was not a diaper in sight.
Okay.
So I was like, I found Nicole one without a diaper. This is actually the more realistic daddy.
Gotcha.
Little.
Yeah.
Like this one, and I don't know if this was her first book or whatever, but this is more realistic of what I think people would do.
Right.
Like, okay, not a crib, but let's put railings on the bed. Okay, there's a rocking chair. There's not a fucking changing table in her apartment.
Right.
So basically a nursery, but she didn't put it together. So Shannon gets her all set up with her apartment and then work stuff too. They have really top-notch security. So it's basically like this whole work area. They have several buildings and apartments, and it's all kind of gated, and so people live on the work property. So her apartment is the same security as like work, so it's a handprint, and it's kind of really cool.
Yeah, keeps them safe.
Yeah, so, and gets her a badge for work. Now, the security team actually helps her move in, and they could tell that she was exhausted, so tell her to sit and relax, while they do all the heavy lifting. Head of security Knox actually sits down with her and explains that she's safe from her ex, because, he did background checks. Right. He knows what's up.
Yeah.
And she's taken back, but he explains... we do background checks and investigation on everyone that lives on the property to make sure that they are safe. Her ex would not be able to get past their security, even if he tried. But to tell him if if your ex calls you or texts you, please just contact me so we can be up to date and keep you safe.
Gotcha. He's a daddy, ain't he?
Yeah. He hasn't met his little yet. So she ends up meeting some of her coworkers, and they are all littles and can tell she is one too. They even ask if she's found her daddy, but when she says no, they just tell her not to worry, he will find her.
Okay, so what I would think would help me with these books is the automatic assuming, like, I know you're a little. Like, how the littles automatically knew she was a little, and how the boss or the daddy already knew. How do you know that? Like, from her posture, really?
I feel like it's how... The problem is with littles, and when I got into the Cupcake series, I really dove in and did my research, so bear with me. It's because they have a hard time. You almost can tell, even if they're at work and in their adult space, they still, like, in those moments, will go back to that little head space
Mm-hmm.
when something triggers them. So
Okay.
you can almost tell by the way they, like, their facial expressions or the way they speak or how they dress. Like,
Gotcha.
you can almost tell all the cues. He just, I think, was being an ass and was like, I can tell by your posture.
Okay. That's it, because in a lot of that, it's like, I know you're my little. It's like, but you literally just met them 3 seconds ago, and you haven't had time to hang out with them and gauge their interactions.
Billy knew I was his.
I mean, but y'all had time to date and know each other, right?
We did, but he told me the day he met me, he knew he was going to marry me.
Oh, I mean,
I hate to break it to you, it does happen.
I don't know. It's just this instant knowing. It's kind of crazy because, like, whenever we went to the Smut Lovers convention and we saw the panels, they're
Consent and
no, but I mean, like, they're. Whenever we talked to some of the, or whenever some of the littles went up there,
were there littles? I just thought that was Daddy Dom people.
I think there was one girl who was a little, and like just looking at her, like, and from her being up there, if she didn't have the stuffy or anything, like, you would have known, like, and her saying that she was, but it's like, if I would have seen her out in public and stopped and had like a 3-minute conversation with her, I wouldn't have known.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you automatically? I don't know. I guess people in the lifestyle can tell. I'm not in that lifestyle, so I wouldn't know what to look for.
Billy have a really kind of close relationship like that.
Yeah.
Like it's more like this and more realistic.
Yeah.
I'm not putting diapers on.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit.
Yeah, I would say, but yeah,
and I'm not sleeping in a separate room than my husband. I'm sorry.
I
That's
think
just not
I
happening.
think that's what would help me though with these books, if like there was a little bit more interaction before he was like, I think you're my little.
Yeah.
Not automatically assuming. If there was a little bit more, and he's like, "Are you?" and not
See,
automatically
and
assuming.
this one, she does kind of pull back.
Yeah.
He doesn't just straight tell her. Like, he knows, but he doesn't come up and tell her that.
Yeah.
They build that relationship and trust first. So this one, I feel like, really does catch the realism of that kind of relationship.
Gotcha. Okay.
Like, because it's like Billy and me. He knew he was going to marry me, but we still dated and took that time.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that. Like, he, like, gave her time. He took her to lunch and everything. And, yeah, so they took their time. Now, so now, and when she meets the employees, there's even a little boy in that group that has a daddy. So, like I said, I appreciate she does give some differences. I hope if I go further down the series, we actually see those.
Yeah.
I want to see them.
I would like to see like a mommy little boy or daddy little boy, like mommy little girl, whatever, just something different. Yeah.
Because there's just so many different ones, because they had the little boy that has a daddy and like a little girl with a mommy. So she does introduce it. I wish she would get into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that's my thing. So it's the next day, and it's Piper's first day on her job now. She does bring Easton his morning coffee, and he invites her to lunch. And Piper just thinks he's being nice. She's just like, oh, he's being a nice boss and trying to learn to get to know me. Shannon shows Pepper the ropes, gets her all set up, like how basically gives her the ins and out. Like, when his door is closed, no one is to bother him. She even proves it because someone comes up and goes, "Can I talk to him?" And she goes, "No."
Door's closed. Sorry.
Nope. You better be in a dire emergency.
You're right.
You better be on your deathbed if you think you're getting in this door. And even shows her, like, the security button in case things get out of hand, stuff like that. So then the topic of daddies and littles comes up, and I love this because we're learning more and seeing more differences. So Piper asks Shannon if she's a little. She says yes, but her husband got diagnosed with dementia, so now their roles are reversed, and she has to be mommy and he has to be the little. Like, I always kind of like was like, okay, so what happens when you get older?
Yeah.
Or things like, things happen like that.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like, okay, what will happen? And she even explains, like, oh, now I'm mommy and he's the little.
Aww.
I live. Because she's giving up her little fantasy to be with her husband.
Right.
Like,
he took care of her. for so long. Now it's her turn.
Yup. Of course, Piper is a little shocked because she's never met so many daddies and littles in one place. Shannon explains that Easton has a soft spot for littles, so hires mostly littles and daddies.
Aww.
He's created this little world and this little sanctuary for all his, people that are like him.
Gotcha.
So I appreciate that. The cupcake one, there was no connection of why there were so many people in this town.
It was just a whole town of
It was just this whole town of daddies and littles. This one, it actually explains. Like, Easton hires, he has a soft spot for this type of person. He finds those people, so hires them.
Gotcha. Yeah, I could see it. Now I know why the whole business is like that. I get it.
Yeah. So Shannon shows her around a little more. Piper is about to swap, and they meet some of the tech people. Like, if she has computer issues, Shannon was like, okay, this is the person you need to talk to. And she goes to swap numbers, but her old daddy texted her, where have you run, little girl? I will find you.
Oh, snap.
Yeah. So Piper tries to hide her reaction, but the girls do notice. When they leave the tech person, Shannon comes clean and is like, I saw that text. We're going to Knox right now, and you're going to show him that text. Like,
mommy in charge.
Yep. Shannon does prove that she went from little to mommy.
Yep, mommy in charge.
So now Piper goes to her lunch with Easton and shocks her when he actually, is like, oh, there you are, grabs her hand and drags her in the elevator and is still holding her hand. She's just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So he does ask if there's anything she needs to avoid to eat, and for some reason, so it triggers a memory for her about her ex, correcting her about eating seafood, and she, bursts into tears. I love Easton. He stops the elevator, gives her a hanky, and apologizes that he's even triggered a memory.
Aw, he's a sweetheart.
Yeah, and he even says he would give her a hug, but obviously she's been traumatized and she needs to set the boundaries. She goes, you need to set the boundaries. I would love to give you a hug, but I don't want to overstep.
Turn out to be a good daddy.
I love this daddy. So they talk about her ex. She even shows him the text. She tells him now she does come clean. She's like, okay, my ex ordered for me one time because he's daddy, and he ordered seafood. I'm allergic to seafood, and I didn't tell him, and I ate it.
Gotcha.
Because she felt like she had to. And then he spanked her so hard to the point where it scared her. So it was a traumatizing whole event. This is such a cute little moment for them. They have their lunch. They do talk business, and Piper even suggests some stuff about the business. At the end, though, it turns into more because all of a sudden Easton is holding Piper's hand through dessert.
Aww.
No explanation, just holding her hand, just like, hey. Now, Easton's in a meeting with one of the accountants that I think this guy's a daddy too, because the accountant looks at the closed door and asks Easton, kind of like in Piper's direction to her, and goes and looks at Easton and goes, yours?
Oh, okay. So yeah, he's in on it.
Yep, and he agrees and says she is his. After the accountant leaves, he calls her into the office to let her he's like, okay, bleh. I was so messed up last night and I was trying to type this. Hold on. The accountant leaves, and then I really just need to put the names. Easton calls her into his office to let her kind of explain a little bit how he's feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like, I do think you're my little. He didn't say you are. He's trying to
ease her into it.
He's trying to ease her into it. So she's nervous because of her ex. He tells her, I don't know what I was typing here. God, I have made.
Are you on the moonshine list?
I guess so. Oh, he tells her that he will be with her, but it needs to be on her terms. He would never pressure her into a relationship, a daddy little relationship, and that she can come to him with time.
Aww.
He's just trying to slowly be like, hey, I like you. I think you're my little, but I don't want to
pressure you.
I don't want to tell you you're my little.
Yeah.
So I appreciate that. So now it's both their off day, and Easton actually texts Piper to come over to watch movies and popcorn, and she agrees. And of course, it turns into Netflix and chill.
Some hanky-panky goes on?
Yeah, so they end up kissing, and Easton is super sweet and stops the kiss and asks if she wants the movie or his bed.
Bed, please.
Well, she disappoints.
No!
She admits she's unsure how to answer that. She wants him, but doesn't want to make the same mistake about trusting the wrong daddy again.
I understand her hesitation. I get it.
Yeah.
I'm in it for the smut, but I get it.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah,
Gotta be reasonable.
And the smut's really good. So he tells her they will watch a movie and get to know each other better. It goes great, but they don't go past kissing. They go to work the next day. Piper's having a hard time kind of keeping her work relationship and private relationship with Easton separate. And of course, Easton's not helping. He is like, Piper goes to ask him what he wants for lunch, and he already ordered lunch and took care of her, and his apartment's above his office, so he lets her up to his apartment, and they eat lunch, and he takes care of her, and...
He's like, I said I'd give you time, but I'm not gonna make it easy.
No. No. But he's not crossing a line, he's not kissing her, or doing stuff like that, he's just taking care of her. So, Piper is sitting in her apartment, and she's kind of having a jealous fit because he's actually meeting with a client, and it's a very good-looking female client. So she's kind of in her feels.
Gotcha.
And Easton shows up. And he actually skipped it to be with her.
Aww.
So she is scared, but he doesn't tell her, and she keeps hearing noises. Easton can get into anywhere. And he doesn't tell her, so she thinks it's her ex, and she's like, oh my god, he found me. And then Easton shows up, and he does comfort her. This is when we get to the smut, and of course, it's your typical daddy little scene. Spanking was brought up, rewarding her when Piper's good. Also, Pepper... God, I keep mixing up the author's name and the actual character. Pepper, I love her praise.
Yeah.
Kink. She does it for me. I have a praise kink. I have a problem. You put praising in your book, and I am sold.
Praise kinks are good.
Yeah.
They're good.
Now, this is where I stopped because I did not want to give the climax. You could obviously tell what the climax is going to kind of be.
Right.
So I stopped. Now, Pepper brings the spice, so I did give it a 4. Like, her smut scenes, she only does like 150 pages, and the smut scenes are pages and pages and pages.
Yeah.
When you finally get them. You just gotta take that little... gotta get to past the plot to get to that detour.
See, it takes a minute for those smut.
Yeah. You might give it a 2. It's actually pretty suspenseful because of the X.
Gotcha.
Because you don't know when he's gonna pop up, or...
And that's what... Sorry, I want to ask... Does the X come back? Okay. And
I love Easton through the whole thing because he calls her into the office and Knox is there and he doesn't even care. He pulls her onto his lap and she's like, Knox is here, and he's like, I don't care, I need to hold you.
You're mine.
I need to hold you because we're about to talk about your ex and it's not good. And I'm just like, So emotional, I gave it a 4 because it is, like I said, it's suspenseful. World building, I always give Pepper a 4 because she builds like these little daddy and little worlds.
Right.
And it's so cute. It's not reasonable though.
No, the cupcake one, this one makes sense.
This one
makes sense.
Has that little bit of detail that makes more sense.
Yeah, but the cupcake one where everyone in town was either or, it was like, where did this come from? Did someone decide to build a town with just this?
Yeah.
Like, I need to know, how is the whole world like that? Like, I need to know.
Oh my god.
But this one I understand. This one I get it.
Smut to plot, I gave it a 3. She's a nice even. She gives it evenly. Like I said, the beginning's mostly plot, but then when you finally get to the smut, it's almost like all you ever get.
Nice.
Overall, I gave it a 3. It was a nice little short read. It's better than our Cupcake series. It is. It's more realistic. You get more little, like, you're like, oh my god, there's a daddy and a son? You know, that was even possible. Yeah. But it is. But yeah, it was a pretty good read. And then we just have one more daddy book. I can't wait.
Your dad will be next.
Yay! I love daddies.
I just like the whole dad trope. Not dad trope, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the dad trope.
There's so many different, like, when you think of the theme dad or daddies, there's so many different directions you can go.
And I'm kind of sad because now that I said this, there was one I read recently where it was a stepbrother and the stepdad with the girl.
Girl, stop. Don't even take notes on your book now. Don't. Just go to that book.
I don't remember the name of it though. I read it like a month ago. And it was so...
I will go on your Goodreads and find it.
You probably won't like it because apparently...
Someone cheats.
No, the mom is still in the picture and the mom already knew because they did it with the mom too. The stepbrother.
Oh, I don't...
Yeah, and the stepdad.
I mean, if she knows and it's consent, I'm okay.
I don't think they got into...
It sounds like a bad porno, though.
But it was so good. I was like, oh shit.
It
sounds like the stepbrother and the stepsister were messing around and all of a sudden
it sounds like one of those mommy-daughter pornos where they teach sex and I'm just like...
It was good though. It was good.
Oh my god. I kind of want to know what happens though. So that is today's episode. Please make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen to podcasts, and make sure that you follow us on God, I keep wanting to say Book Talk TikTok.
I mean, technically it is Book Talk.
It's Book Talk. Please make sure that you follow us on social media. We have Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. I post on there daily except for Sunday because that's when our episodes go live and I want you to listen to it. And hopefully, sneak peek, me and Nicole want to do conventions. So I need to find conventions.
Yeah.
I want to go to the one in Atlanta, but I don't know if I could get out of Valentine's Day.
It's a commercial holiday for me. We don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Meh. We do.
We don't celebrate Valentine's Day.
Oh, we do.
This past Valentine's Day, Jesse showed up with flowers, and I gave him a look like, what the fuck?
Well,
like, if you want to spend money, we should have went out to eat or something. Like, what the fuck?
The problem is, normally we don't. Like, we don't go crazy. We just eat in. Like, we'll do steak and, like, stuff like that. But this year we didn't make too big of a fuss of it. So I'm hoping, since this year we didn't make too much of a fuss.
You could run away next year and do a book convention instead.
Yay! Why do you not have it? Like, I get the gimmick that it's on Valentine's Day. Yeah. I get it. And it's really cool. So they actually have a young adult. We can bring Addie with us. They have a young adult separate section.
Addie and books don't mix? She would be rushing us. Like, she'd be like, let's go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like, if it was just for, like, an hour or so, she would handle it for, like, a whole day event.
Actually, it's a whole weekend.
Or a whole weekend event. She'd probably stay in the hotel room the whole time. Just be like,
I'm putting it out there. Alright, so that's today's episode, and you beautiful book babes have a wonderful day. Bye!
Bye!